Spiders the size of cars, a forest that breathes danger, a door sealed for 50 years. Tonight, Harry Potter doesn't just chase a mystery, he walks straight into the heart of it. Welcome back to Magic Muggle, a Harry Potter Aftershow. I'm your host, Eric, aka Mr. Honest, and today we are diving into chapters 15 and 16 of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. These are the penultimate chapters before the grand finale. Short, sharp, and absolutely essential. We're heading into the Forbidden Forest with Aragog, and then straight into the chamber itself. Let's waste no time. The forest awaits. Chapter 15, Aragog. Harry and Ron are desperate for answers after Hagrid's arrest. The only clue Hagrid left them is a simple but chilling notion. Follow the spiders. Personally, I'm freaked out by spiders, so I'm a little bit like of a Ron Weasley in the situation. In the movie, I will remember that he was freaking out, but as anyone would in the situation they're about to find themselves. Now, I don't know about you, but if I saw them, the spiders, walking in a line out into the Forbidden Forest, that's my sign to do the exact opposite. Like, I'm running. But Harry and Ron, they're in. Very brave. I feel the darkness upon these chapters and meshed with the light of Harry Potter energy and J.K. Rowling's perfect writing. It's a little bit of excitement at the same time. And she knows how to round out a story, doesn't she? I mean, what an author. This whole scene plays out like a classic horror movie. The deeper they go into the forest, the thicker the webs get. The stranger the noises become. And then out of the shadow comes Aragog. He's not just any spider. He's the patriarch of an entire colony the size of a small army. Rowling really leans into the dread here. Ron's panic, it's both hilarious and totally justified. You can almost feel him about to collapse in terror. I would be the same exact way as Ron. But Aragog himself, he's pretty fascinating. Terrifying, yes, but also polite. Almost regal in how he speaks. And the bombshell he drops changes everything. Hagrid never opened the chamber. First hand from Aragog. Says it himself. Aragog has never killed anyone. He respected Hagrid too much. The girl who died was killed by a monster far deadlier. One even Aragog fears. The scene crescendos with Harry and Ron nearly eaten alive, only to be saved at the last second by the most underrated hero of the night. Fang the dog, cowardly, loyal, and braver than he gets credit for. The old car, the Ford, comes back to actually save them out of the situation. Aragog says, I never harmed anyone that Hagrid told me not to harm, but I don't know you, basically, and my kids are hungry. He said Hagrid even found him a wife, so they've been breeding all these giant spiders. It is cinematic in the book itself, even the way it's written, and it happens so fast. Thank God for the car making its epic return. It's almost like it has a mind of its own at this point. But just as quickly as it finds them, it brings them to safety, kicks them out, and goes right back into the forest. It's a creature of the night now. I just think that's hilarious and also just perfect full circle writing. I never say writing. I'm really starting to sound like a bookcaster, aren't I? I think it's funny that this is the longest I've ever read a single book for, but it's let me feel like the story is passing in real time. And between the episodes of recording these and reading these to you and giving you my summaries and stuff, it feels even more important in one way or another because we've been building up to this. This moves us right into chapter 16, title of the book itself, The Chamber of Secrets. Exams are canceled, and that's not a cause for celebration, at least this time. It's a sign of doom, and the teachers look broken, the school feels hollow, and it's all life totally being drained from Hogwarts. And it's very sad, because Hogwarts is meant to be a safe place, and to have it infiltrated like this, and to have the idea of everyone going home forever, it just puts something terrible in my tummy, thinking, I don't want Harry to get stuck living with the Dursleys again. That'd be horrible for him, especially after all he's experienced, all the good times for his time at Hogwarts to end like this. That's just not right. But then the writing appears on the wall again and it gets worse. This time, it's not just a threat, it's a death sentence. Her skeleton will lie in the chamber forever. Ginny Weasley has been taken. I could hear Professor McGonagall in my head saying the school must be shut down and someone has finally been taken into the chamber. Think about the emotional gut punch of that moment. Ginny has been in the background the whole book, shy, awkward, and always blushing around Harry. You don't really give it second thought, but suddenly she's the one that's dragged into the nightmare. It raises the stakes higher than ever. This isn't just another attack, it's the final attack. And while the school is in chaos, it's Hermione who has already left the answer behind. Petrified but still clutching a page torn from a book, the page that explains it all. The monster is a basilisk, a serpent of legend. It kills with its eyes, and that explains everything. Mrs. Norris saw it through water, so she was petrified. So if you don't look it in the eyes and you see it through something, you won't die, but you'll get petrified. Thank God nobody saw it in its eyes. Colin through the camera lens, Justin through nearly headless Nick. Nick can't die twice, so he gets petrified as a ghost, which is terrifying in itself. Hermione herself through a mirror she carried. Every piece of the puzzle finally starts locking into place. And the victim from 50 years ago? Moaning Myrtle. She's not just a nuisance ghost. She's the girl who died the first time the chamber was opened. How did the teachers not put this together? They must not know or care to think about Moaning Myrtle because she's always crying, I'm guessing. She's been hiding in plain sight the entire time in her bathroom. The chills from that reveal still get me. Now, with Ginny taken, the teachers push Lockhart into action. He's big talk. This guy knows how to do everything. He apparently even told the teachers that he knows where the entrance is. And in this moment, the fraud completely unravels. He's cornered in his office by Ron and Harry, packing his bags and ready to run. No books, no bravado, and no stage smile. Just a man revealed for what he truly is, a coward, a fake. And you could feel it the whole book in his self-appreciation and just all the books he's written. It's just brilliant storytelling, honestly. Rowling balances the horror of Ginny's fate with the comedy, dark comedy at this point, of Lockhart's downfall. And the effect is actually perfect. The danger feels sharper because the so-called hero is a fraud. It leaves Harry and Ron with no one to rely on but themselves. So they bring Lockhart with him because he has to do this job. He was assigned this job, so they're holding him accountable. And then comes the sink, the entrance to the chamber marked with a snake. This is in that girl's bathroom where Moaning Myrtle died. Moaning Myrtle saw the snake, looked it in the eyes, and it confirms this is a basilisk, a giant, scary, freaky snake. The entrance to the chamber is marked with a snake on the sink. Harry hisses in Parseltongue, which he can barely ever summon on his own, but I think the need and want to save Ginny just gives him this power in the moment he needs it. He speaks in Parseltongue for it to open, and the stone slides away. And what's been hidden for half a century yawns open. A dark tunnel, a fall into the unknown, and the truth waiting at the bottom. And also, Lockhart completely making a fool out of himself, admitting everything to Harry and Ron before this about how he faked all those people that he saved and all the monsters he's defeated. He just uses a memory charm on the real people who did do it, and he completely steals their story and their valor. This guy is a dumb, meanie. He's just rude. And we all kind of knew he was rude, but we didn't really know exactly how he's been fabricating all of this. He's not a master wizard. He's a story stealer, taking valor from other people who've done great and extraordinary things and erasing their memories. He tries to do the same to Ron and Harry once they're down there. he would bring this giant snake shell, like, or it's not a shell, it's like the skin that, they shed their skin and stuff. And he's going to take that upstairs. He's going to say they found the body, he killed the beast, and that Harry and Ron lost their minds with this memory charm because they saw her mangled body. It makes me very upset to hear him keep blaming Hagrid these last two chapters. He doesn't know anything. He's just taking a wild guess, and that guess is a convenient story for him, so he could say that he had some part in this. And especially right now, it's almost as if he has got everything on a platter, ready to expose this story as complete. But he never can do that. Even if he goes up there with this story, they'll open the school again and people will be petrified again. Lockhart is probably going to tell them all this and head for the hills. Who knows how many teachers he was ready to put memory charms on who've probably figured him out. He's leaving this Basilisk in there and Ginny Weasley without them even ever finding her. This is not going to work. But karma comes around. Ron's broken wand actually ends up working for them because he takes Ron's wand, and while he tries to do the memory charm, it backfires at him and collapses the tunnel, and Harry has to go down this road alone, with Lockhart being completely oblivious and looped out of his mind, apparently. Ron can't get in there because the whole entrance has been blocked with rubble and whatnot. So Harry must be brave and walk through the corridors, twists and turns, and find the entrance to the chamber, marked with a snake. Again, he hisses in Parseltongue, telling it to open, and he enters bravely, without thinking, and this is pure Harry Potter energy right here. He doesn't hesitate. He wants to save Ginny, and he wants to take down this horrible beast, however that may be. He doesn't even know how he's going to do it. Oh my goodness. A dark tunnel into the unknown, and the truth waiting at the very bottom of the Chamber of Secrets. This chapter doesn't end with answers. It ends with that doorway, with darkness, and with ultimate descent. And from here, there's absolutely no turning back. Whew. These last two chapters were big, but also I condensed them a little bit. It's definitely giving that penultimate pre-finale energy. I got the chills right now. Let's just review a few things about this chapter itself. Hermione's Basilisk note. She figured it out. They could have actually found that note a little bit earlier, but the hospital wing was under Madame Pomfrey's control, and she did not let people in. So they didn't really have much of a chance to find that until they did. The written thread about Ginny's skeleton, it's just haunting, and also it gives you, the audience, wanting Harry to go save Ginny and Ron to go save Ginny. And Lockhart being unmasked is satisfying yet infuriating because he's trying to pull one over on these kids. He's about to give them a memory charm, and finally, because of Ron's wand destined to save them in this moment, he gets the memory charm put back on him, and that is fantastic. The Parseltongue entrance to this the first part of the chamber, and then Harry at the end of the very chapter using Parseltongue once again to get into the chamber itself. You know Harry's about to get into some big stuff in this next chapter / our episode, but we are going to leave it on that cliffhanger. We're only doing 2 this week, and we're going to talk extensively next week on the final 2 chapters of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I love talking Harry Potter, and I also don't like extending like this podcast to 20 minutes just so it could be 20 minutes. We got through the points. Maybe I could have talked a little bit more about Aragog, but I had just read the Chamber of Secrets chapter, and I was just very excited about the reveal of Moaning Myrtle right in front of us the whole time, having the answer, but never able to tell it because she's always crying. It's ironic, it's hilarious, and it's scary at the same time. Somehow her death is it's proof that the snake is real, that it is the Basilisk. So that makes it a little scary. And you feel for Myrtle, but you also kind of like you still get the crying Myrtle. She's always crying. So when she's crying about this, it doesn't have as much weight to it. It just means, oh my God, we finally found it. And yet they did. So next week, on our final episode covering the Chamber of Secrets, we'll go over those last 2 chapters with whatever is to come. longtime readers and listeners, well, not listeners, I mean listeners of audiobooks, people who know this story knows it's about to amp up and be the last 2 great chapters of a really fantastic book. It's all going to come full circle. Thank you so much for being here today. This has been Magic Muggle, a Harry Potter Aftershow, and it's been my pleasure to talk about these chapters with you. I think next week, the finale episode is going to be epic. We're still growing. No Patreon just yet. There is a tip jar in the comments if you'd like to support the show. Never expected, but always appreciated. I'm loving these books. I'm excited to go forward into this series. I mean, I'm thinking all the way through the series. I'm so excited to go through The Prisoner of Azkaban next. It'll be a lot of fun. But before that, we have these final 2 epic chapters next week. So stay tuned. We'll be watching the movie the week after the finale of the book. And then we'll move straight into The Prisoner of Azkaban. And until next week, again, thank you for listening. Wands down, hearts full.